You are not a bad person. That's the first thing to understand. Bad people are simple, they know what they are, and they do it anyway. What you are is more complicated than that. You are someone who noticed very early that the world runs on perception, that people don't respond to truth, they respond to the version of truth that makes them most comfortable, and that the person who controls that version controls everything. You didn't choose this, you discovered it. The way you discover a talent, not by deciding to have it, but by using it once, almost by accident, and feeling it work in your hands like something that was always supposed to be there. This is your mind, at every level of the con. Level 1. The small lie. You've always been good at this. Not lying exactly. Reading. You learned young that people have a version of reality they prefer. A version where transactions are smooth, where strangers are honest, where the day doesn't have complications in it. And if you offer them that version confidently enough, they'll take it. I bought this yesterday, you tell the cashier. It didn't work. My mom just wants a refund. You don't have a receipt. You didn't buy it yesterday. You found it in a car park this morning. She opens the till. 22 pounds. This is where most people stop. The guilt arrives or the fear and the door closes. But you stand in front of that door and notice something different. Not pride, not excitement, something quieter than both. The feeling that you understand something about people that most people don't. That is the beginning of everything. Level 2, the social engineer. Victor taught you this. You met him at a bar 2 years ago. He bought you a drink, asked you 3 questions, and by the end of the conversation knew more about you than people who'd known you for years. You asked him how. He laughed. People tell you everything if you make them feel understood first. Victor taught you that buildings have policies, but people have moods. That a security guard with a difficult morning will wave you through faster than one having a good day. Because difficult mornings make people want fewer complications. That a confident stride and a slightly distracted expression are more effective than any forged document. Social engineering isn't hacking systems. It's hacking the humans who run them. Every organization is only as secure as the most tired, most trusting, most approval-seeking person inside it. You have what you came for. You were inside for 11 minutes. Nobody will remember your face by tomorrow. Level 3, the short con. The short con runs in minutes. That's its elegance. You approach with a problem, not a suspicious problem, a human one. You're slightly lost. You're looking for a specific street. The tourist has a map. He helps you. In helping you, he's already decided you're trustworthy. Because people who need help don't seem like threats. During the map conversation, you establish 3 things without appearing to establish anything. He's in town for 4 days, he's carrying more cash than he should, and he's the kind of man who responds to urgency. You tell him, casually as you're parting, that you overheard something about his hotel. Something about a problem with bookings. You're not sure, it's probably nothing, but here, you have a contact at another place, much better. You can call ahead for him right now. The short con doesn't use force. It uses the gap between someone's current emotion and a worse emotion they don't want to feel. You simply open that gap, barely, just enough, and offer yourself as the bridge across it. 40 minutes later, he's checked into a place that gave you a commission for the referral. He'll never know. He'll tell his wife it was a lucky recommendation from a friendly local. You're already 3 streets away. Level 4, the identity. By level 4, you don't run one con at a time. You run one character at a time. The character has a name, a history, a LinkedIn profile with 14 connections and a plausible career arc, a Gmail address that's been active for 8 months so it doesn't trigger spam filters. A way of speaking, slightly more formal than Kane, uses industry language, references real companies in passing. The character is a consultant, specializes in connecting investors with emerging markets opportunities. He's referred by someone the target already trusts, because you spent 3 weeks building that referral chain before making a single approach. The businessman isn't stupid. That matters to understand. He's done his research, or what he thinks is research. He Googled the company, found a website, found reviews, found a phone number that a real person answered. He checked. He checked everything you built for him to check. The con at level 4 isn't about finding gullible people. It's about building an environment so coherent, so checkable, so apparently real, that a careful person's due diligence confirms it. The call ends. The businessman says he'll speak to his accountant. You already know what his accountant will find. Level 5, the long con. Margaret is 67, retired teacher. Her husband passed 2 years ago. Her son lives in another city and calls on Sundays. You know this because you've been her neighbor for 4 months. You helped her with her bins in week 2. You fixed a problem with her gate in week 6. You've had tea in her kitchen, the kitchen with the photographs on the wall, and the specific quality of silence that belongs to people who live alone in spaces that used to be fuller. You are not performing warmth. That's what makes this level different from everything before it. At level 5, the performance has become so practiced, so integrated, that you can no longer locate the boundary between what's real and what's constructed. You sit in Margaret's kitchen and something in you responds to her kindness, her history, the photographs on the wall. And you do it anyway. The investment opportunity is legitimate sounding, thoroughly documented, referred by a financial advisor whose credentials check out because you built those credentials across 18 months. She invests £40,000, everything she has outside her pension. This is the level where something should stop you, where the thing that made you hesitate at level 1, that residual human feeling, should arrive and hold your hand. It doesn't arrive. You note its absence the way you'd note the absence of a sound you've stopped hearing. Level 6, the network. You no longer work alone. At level 6, the operation requires infrastructure. People who run the front office, people who answer the phones, people who play the financial advisor, the satisfied previous investor, the legal contact. None of them know the full picture. You've learned from Victor that the safest architecture is one where each person only holds their piece. The room contains 11 potential investors. Combined liquid assets your research has estimated at approximately 2.3 million. You will not take all of it. That's the discipline level 6 requires. You take enough that the remainder, the money still in their accounts, still apparently growing in the statements you send monthly, keeps them invested, keeps them not reporting, keeps them, in fact, recruiting their friends. The most efficient fraud is self-propagating. When your investors become your salespeople, voluntarily, enthusiastically, out of genuine belief, you have built something that runs without you. Victor called this the garden. You plant it. Then you walk away and let it grow. Level 7, Jidia the Stasis of Ghosts. At level 7, you are not a person. You are a series of decisions. The name on the passport is real, purchased, not forged, from a network that specializes in such things. The history attached to it is 5 years deep. The face in the photograph is yours, but the face means nothing without the history. And the history is clean. Behind you, a network unraveling. Investors comparing notes, phone numbers disconnecting, websites going dark. The particular dawning horror of people realizing simultaneously that the thing they believed in completely was never there. You've looked in a lot of mirrors, mostly for rehearsal, running expressions, calibrating warmth, finding the right version of yourself for the right room. But for a moment, just this one, you look without a purpose. The face that looks back is unreadable. Not cold exactly, not warm, just weighing on or present, functional. The face of a man who has spent so long deciding what to show people that the question of what's actually there has become, somehow, irrelevant. You close the laptop, you order room service, you sleep without difficulty. Somewhere in one of them, someone is deciding to trust a stranger.